Hey everyone, it's great to be back after Christmas. I've been chopping away during Derpy and have some pretty cool progress to show you all, so stay tuned and I hope you enjoy the video. Today we're talking about the most anticipated update yet to drop on the server. A lot of other channels have covered this across the 2 years it has been teased by the admins, but apparently it's dropping in 2024, so here we are. If you're watching this video, you probably already know what I'm talking about, but for those that might be new to Skyblock, this is the foraging update. I'll quickly run through what we know, obviously this is all subject to change, and then how I've prepared for it. A lot of this video is my personal opinion or speculation. I don't have any special admin information other than what is publicly accessible. I just wanted to make a foraging video and share my thoughts on it. So, firstly, it is highly likely that foraging will run on the latest Minecraft version, making it inaccessible for anyone running the 1.8.9 version, which most Skyblock players use at the moment. There isn't really anything you can prepare on this front, but it's worth being aware of nonetheless. It will probably mean having to re-download mods in the latest version, but don't rush to download anything right now because we don't even know which version they will use until the update officially drops. In the May 2nd design thread, a new stat called Sweep was introduced, effectively stating the amount of logs an axe will break. This already exists in the Tree Capitator and the Jungle Axe, but putting it into a stat form leads me to believe it may be an increasable stat, either through a new enchant or other item modifiers. Another interesting comment in this thread is that you might prefer cutting trees with other players. This hints at cooperative gameplay, which is even more likely when you consider this other comment: some trees might be quite resistant and 35 sweep won't cut 35 logs at once. So it might take a minute to chop down a single tree solo, or 15 seconds if there are several players, with the rewards shared between contributing players. There's also going to be a skill tree, similar to the Heart of the Mountain system, that can grant additional buffs like foraging fortune, foraging speed, maybe sweep, or other abilities as well. Now for the big question. Is it worth maxing the foraging skill before the update? No. Absolutely not. I mean, yes, you will have the highest obtainable foraging fortune, and I'm sure the level cap will be raised to 60 when the update drops, so there is a minor benefit to it, but let's look at how the recent farming update worked. We got a new armor progression with a max level requirement of 40, and the lower sets requiring level 25 to 35. We also got copper, a unique resource you couldn't really prepare for in advance. For this reason, I believe it is rational to grind foraging up to level 30 and max all existing collections. This way, when the update drops, you will likely have the minimum level required for the base armor set and be able to enjoy leveling through the update rather than being forced to powder grind at the max foraging level. It's also probably going to be easier, or at the very least more enjoyable, to get foraging XP with the update, so there's that to consider too. Regarding pets, we already have the monkey and the ocelot that grants foraging fortune and wisdom respectively, but I get the feeling that there will be another pet released that has a unique bonus, such as increasing the speed or the sweep range, or maybe a pet item that is a foraging version of the Quick Claw. I have absolutely no evidence to support this, but I think it makes sense given the new stat and the massive size of this update. In terms of preparation, make sure you have a decently leveled monkey and ocelot to get started, but I wouldn't bother with fancy pet items until after the update drops. The last thing that caught my eye in this post is the introduction of critters, and having to capture or merge them to level up the skill tree. At first glance, I thought this was going to be similar to the pest system in the garden, but then it occurred to me that it could be a revamp of the necromancy system, where you can capture the soul of a mob when killed. I know this is reaching a little bit, but I think it'd be cool to see the use of souls for more than just tank zombies in E-Manslayer. In addition to what we have been told, I'm really hoping the admins make foraging minions useful. At the moment, they are tragic in terms of output, both in item production and XP generation, and it'd be really nice to see them actually worth using. With all that info out of the way, I recently began my preparation for this update on my Ironman profile, taking advantage of Derpy's skill XP boost. I hadn't really worked on foraging before, so I was pretty keen to explore the existing meta. My Twitch chat directed me to a foraging XP farm I could build pretty cheaply on my island, and they claimed it could make up to 1.6 million foraging experience per hour. With a limited attention span, Australian ping, and my ongoing skill issue, I managed to get around 1 million XP per hour, which is still pretty awesome. I'll link my tutorial on this farm in the description if you're interested. After getting a couple of levels from this farm, I got bored and journeyed into the park. It was a lot less sweaty than I anticipated, presumably because everyone was on their islands using the XP farm. I went for birch to max the collection and crafted myself the travel scroll, a large foraging sack, and the enchanted sack so that when the update drops, I'll have all of the quality of life items to launch right into it. When I crafted the ocelot pet a few weeks earlier, I was unfortunate enough to cop an epic. The legendary perk is pretty much useless, but legendary is cooler than epic, so I figured it was probably worth going for the 512 enchanted jungle wood to upgrade it. Armed with my legendary ocelot, I went back into the XP farm and pushed through another couple of foraging levels. I also crafted the Armor of Growth for museum completion, as well as maxing out the Dark Oak minion for the Skyblock XP. The very next day was Christmas, and between spending time with my family and eating so much I put myself into a food coma, the rest of Derpy passed by without me even realizing it. The last thing for me to do now is max out the rest of the foraging minions and grind the 1500 enchanted jungle wood required for the campfire god badge, but I'll save that for another video. If you watched this video all the way to the end, thank you. Don't forget to drop me a like and let me know you made it this far by commenting the code STILL WAITING. Thank you so much for sticking around and supporting my channel. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one.